What's the single most important number in any business? It's not revenue. It's not even profit, really. It's your costs. Understanding your costs is literally the difference between just guessing and hoping for the best and actually building a successful business on purpose. So today, we're going to break it all down. Okay, imagine this. You've just created the perfect product. Let's say it's a line of amazing custom t-shirts. You are ready to go, but then you hit a wall. The first and biggest one, how much do you charge? I mean, if you price it too high, nobody's going to buy it. But if you price it too low, you're literally losing money on every sale. The answer isn't a guess. It's a calculation. And that calculation starts right here. Before you can even dream about setting a price, you have to know, down to the penny, what it costs to make your product. So to make this all feel real, let's follow the story of a little startup we'll call the Explainer T-shirt company. All right, let's dive in. Every single dollar our t-shirt company spends, from the rent on their workshop to the ink for the designs, it all falls into one of two pretty simple buckets. Getting these two types of costs straight is the first huge step. So first up, we've got fixed costs. Think of these as your foundation. They're the predictable bills you have to pay every single month, whether you sell one t-shirt or 1,000. We're talking rent, salaries, the cost of just keeping the lights on. And then, on the other side, you have variable costs. These are tied directly to how much you make. The more shirts you print, the higher these costs are going to climb. Let's make this concrete for our t-shirt company. That rent for the workshop, it's got to be paid no matter what. Same thing for the salaries of their full-time manager and designer, and their insurance. These costs are constant. They're predictable, they're fixed. Now, let's flip to the variable costs. For every single t-shirt we want to print, we need to buy one blank shirt, and we need to use a certain amount of ink. If we pay our printer for each shirt they make, that's a variable cost too. These expenses grow one for one with every t-shirt we decide to sell. Okay, so we've sorted all our expenses into two neat piles, the fixed ones and the variable ones. Now it's time to put them together to see the whole shebang, the total cost of actually running our t-shirt business. And you know what? The formula for total cost is, it's exactly as simple as it looks. You just add everything up. All your fixed costs plus all your variable costs. That number right there is the grand total, what it really costs to run your entire operation. But now let's zoom in a little. Marginal cost answers a really powerful question. What is the extra cost of making just one more t-shirt? So you've already made 100 shirts. The marginal cost tells you exactly how much it'll cost to make shirt number 101. This is so important for making decisions like, should you take on a big last-minute bulk order that's at a small discount? Well, if their offer is higher than your marginal cost, you'll still make money on that order. All right, knowing your total cost is great for the big picture. But you don't sell your entire business at once, right? You sell one t-shirt at a time. To set a price for a single shirt, we need to find that all-important unit cost. And this is where things get really interesting. See, your fixed costs, like your rent, they don't change. But the more shirts you make, the more you can spread that fixed cost out among them. We call this the average fixed cost. And the key takeaway here is simple. As your production goes up, the amount of fixed costs that each individual shirt has to carry goes way down. And this chart just shows it perfectly. Let's say our total fixed costs are $100. If we only make 10 shirts, each one of those shirts has to carry $10 of that cost. But look what happens when we make 100 shirts. Whoa, that fixed cost per shirt just plummets to $1. That is the magic of economies of scale. Okay, now for the other half of this puzzle, average variable cost. This one is way simpler. It's just the cost of your materials and direct labor for one shirt. So if a blank tee and the ink for it cost you $5, your AVC is $5. Unlike the fixed costs, this number usually stays pretty steady for every shirt you make. So here's where it all comes together. You add your average fixed cost and your average variable cost, and you get your average total cost. This is it. This is your true unit cost, the real actual cost to make one t-shirt. You absolutely positively have to know this number before you can set a price that makes you money. Okay, so we've got the fixed versus variable way of looking at things down, which is perfect for figuring out pricing and how to grow. But sometimes, especially for things like accounting, it's really useful to look at these exact same costs through a different lens. direct versus indirect. So what's the deal here? Well, a direct cost is something you can literally point to on the finished product, like the actual cotton in the shirt or the ink used for the design. An indirect cost, though, is something that's totally necessary for the business to run, but you can't really pin it on just one shirt. Think about the factory's electricity bill or the salary of the person who answers the phones. And if you look here, you'll see we're just reshuffling the very same costs we've already been talking about. The blank shirts and ink, yeah, those are clearly direct costs. But the workshop rent and those admin salaries, those are indirect. They support everything, not just one specific shirt. So this isn't about new costs, it's just about a new way of seeing them. So why? Why do we go through all this trouble? Why bother categorizing and calculating? Well, because understanding your cost structure isn't just some boring accounting exercise. It's a business superpower. Seriously, this knowledge is pure power. It lets you actually predict how your bills will change as you get bigger. It lets you set your prices with total confidence, knowing that every single sale is making you money. And this is huge. It shines a spotlight on exactly where you can cut costs, reduce waste, and build a more profitable and efficient business. And look, if you remember just one thing from all this, make it this. Understanding your costs is not just about bookkeeping. It's about strategy. It's about analyzing where every single dollar is going so you can make smarter decisions that improve your bottom line, period. So I'll just leave you with this thought. The next time you buy a cup of coffee, try to look past the cup and the beans. Think about the rent for the coffee shop, the manager's salary, the electricity for the espresso machine. Because once you start seeing the hidden costs in everything around you, you'll never look at a price tag the same way again.